Welcome to Cardigan Bay Fishing Adventures. My name is David Barber. I'm still doing some foam work. What I'm doing a test with is the microphone. I'm going to try and sync the audio. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I'm going to give it a go. Today what I'm doing, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, I've drilled holes in the rear part of the deck. I will lower the camera now to show you. So I can fill the compartments at the rear. Obviously when I originally started putting the deck in at the back, I didn't plan to do foam. I didn't like the idea of it. I've done a lot of research, I've educated myself on the foam, and I've decided that's what I want to do, so I've had to drill holes in the deck. Didn't really want to, but that is what it is. It's my first time building a boat, as you all know. Well, not all of you know, but most of you know. So yeah, I'm learning as I go, and yeah, I want to foam it all, so let's get some foam mixed up and start getting it poured in the rear part of this deck. You may hear the bleeping, it's the air quality monitor. It's up around 1,000 because I've been drilling holes and the smell from drilling has made that go crazy. I'll bring the camera lower, show you what I'm doing. Today we've got better temperatures. I got up here and it's around 6-7 degrees. The meter is already on 16 degrees. I've not been here that long, so we're up warm enough. I did take the foam home, the tins of it, and it's at room temperature, so that's going to make a hell of a difference. Right, bring this camera down, stop waffling and show you what I'm doing. So as you can see, I've got holes drilled in the rear part of the deck, the stringers. I've drawn roughly where the stringers are. Believe it or not, I'd actually forgotten. I had to look at an old photo. So this stringer runs up to here. We've got one across there and we've got one in the center there. So the very outside is going to be a very small pour. There's possibility of me getting cavities in the rear. There is nothing at all I can do about it. This is why I wanted to pour like this, so I can see what's there, put the board on top so it'll push out to the edges and fill any gaps. Obviously with this, I've drilled a few more holes than probably what people would, but my plan is to pour in these holes, which is on the top of the tunnel. The foam's going to run down the sides and then it'll rise up, fill the sides and then come back to the middle. That's what I'm hoping, to try and avoid any cavities in there. So yeah, I'm going to start mixing it up. This is actually, it's not cold to the touch, it's pretty warm. It's going to make a hell of a difference, I think. There is something I did mess up with this. I've got a feeling I'm mixing it by weight. I don't think you're meant to mix it by weight. I think you're meant to mix it by volume, because I think part 2 is more heavy. So it's worked mixing it by weight, but if you're following this video, maybe look at mixing it by measurement, basically the volume. I'm going to carry on mixing it by weight because it's working for me. So I'm just doing equal amounts in weight, and yeah, the pours have gone really well, except for that one on the last video. Today will be different because it's a lot warmer in here. I'm actually sweaty, believe it or not. I'm actually sweating, it's quite warm. So yeah, start getting this mixed up and we're going to start pouring it in these holes. I'm probably going to end up wasting product because I'm not sure how much to mix for the back pieces. I can't measure it, so I can't get the volume. So I'll have to just play it by ear, do a pour, maybe do 2 pours, we'll see. I'll just start mixing it up and we'll start pouring it. I'm not sure how the audio is going to come out. I'm going to try and sync this audio to this footage. If the audio is really clear, it's worked. If the audio sounds a bit muffled, it's the GoPro audio. There's literally nothing I can do. The thing these mics do, they make the audio more clear, and you can probably hear the background noise of the heater running. This will muffle that sound, you won't hear that too much, but on the GoPro you will. It'll pick up all the background noise. What temperature are we at? We're at 16 degrees now, and the humidity is dropping. It's down to 69%. So yeah, we start getting it mixed. I've just had a quick look on the tins. It doesn't actually tell you how to mix it. Maybe it come with a data sheet, I can't remember. I think these back compartments are the same size as the one in front. I mixed up 500 grams for that, so I'm probably going to do the same for this one. I'll mix 500 for this, we'll see how we go. If it splurges out too much and we've got too much waste, I'll probably do 450. I'm going to leave the mask off for a second. But if I start smelling this smell too strong, I'm going to have to put the mask back on. At the moment it doesn't smell bad, and I'll keep an eye on the meter. Obviously the meter's at that end of the boat, not up here. So if it starts screaming at me, it's not ideal because it's further away. Yeah. What I'll do is I have to put the mask on, because once I mix this stuff, there'll be more fumes coming off it. It's starting to climb up really quick. You're not going to be able to hear me very well, that's the problem. So I'm probably very muffled, so I ain't going to talk too much, just going to get this mixed and get it poured. The reaction's happening pretty fast. So what I need to do is get this board ready and start closing the holes off as it comes up. You can see here, it's nearly at the top of this hole already. So I'm going to try and put the plug back in. Put the plugs back in on top of it, and hopefully I can close it off. So what I want to do is let it rise a little, and then I'll drop the plug into it. That's obviously going to hold the plug in place, and then I can fiberglass over that. So this hole's nearly full, this one's almost full. What you've got to be careful is you don't block it in too much, because it will pop the deck. So what I'm going to do is mix up the same amount again, around 500 grams, and I'm going to pour it onto the starboard side. But what I'm going to do is blow some warm air into the compartment, just to see if a bit of heat in the compartment will help it rise. That didn't rise as much as what I thought it might. And the other issue is I am going to have to order more foam, which I didn't want to, but these are feeling pretty empty. So you might not be able to see me very well, but just got a heat gun, paint stripping gun. The lights flicker when this is on. I'm going to blow some warm air into this compartment. I'm not going to go crazy because it's sealed. That foam's still actually rising as well. So I've mixed up another 500. I'm sorry you can't see me on the camera, but it's not about me, it's about the foam. You have about 25 seconds to mix it and then get it poured in. Yeah, this reaction's way better. And that's that one done as well. So get the smaller compartments done at the back. So I've got the camera in my hand. I've actually finished foam filling. I've run out. I'm gonna have to order a tiny little bit more. I do think I can get a 2.2 kilo kit on East Coast fiberglass, but all the starboard side's done from the stern to the bow. Same on the port side. I've also decided to fill the two bow sections. The reason I've decided to fill the two bow sections, I'll explain it now and I'll spin the camera around and show you. So from the back you can see it's all filled, and you can see the holes down here from where I did the floor at the back. But moving up, you can see it's all filled. I've decided to fill those two sections as well. The reason why, I had leftover foam, so I thought I may as well use it, but I've run out in the process, so I now need to order more. But my thought process behind it, if there's going to be any damage on the hull, that's going to be the main place, right at the start of the bow, on the keel. Also, it's sound deadening. So when I'm in the cuddy and I'm trying to sleep or whatever I'm trying to do in there, it's quiet from the slapping on the hull. It's just going to drop the noise a little bit. These compartments are roughly 20 litres, so they'll hold 20 litres of water each. Altogether, there's 5 compartments. There's one here, another 4 there. So if the boat was to get flooded, it can only hold 100 litres of water, which is 100 kilos. Dead in the centre, it's low down, so it's a low centre of gravity. And then we've got a halo of buoyancy all the way around here, all the way back. So if the worst was to happen and there was a hole in the boat, I'll get home hopefully. It's just a bit of safety. But a few people asking me, does this add strength? Technically, it doesn't add strength. If you hit the hull there with something, it's going to puncture a hole straight through it. Backed with foam, there's less chance of it puncturing, but it could still puncture. The difference is, if you've got a hole there, that's going to fill up very quickly with water. If you hit underneath there, it'll probably crack the hull and a little bit of water would seep in, but it can't fill the cavity. That's more of the idea behind it. On top of that, like I said, just it adds sound deadening. So we've got tunnels running down here, which slap on the water as the boat rocks backwards and forwards. This is definitely going to cut down on a bit of the noise. Just makes it more comfortable, makes it a bit more solid. And yeah, it's added safety. People go on about this foam, oh, it's going to absorb water, it's like a sponge. It's not the old 1970s, 1980s foam they used to put in. This is modern polyurethane foam. Yes, if you smash it with your fist, fill it with water, it will absorb water, but it's not going to be totally sodden like the old foam. So yeah, it is waterproof. When it skins over, you can probably see it's shiny. That's skinned. That cannot absorb water when it's got the skin on it. It literally just beads off it. I've tested it. I've actually got a piece here. I don't know if you can see the shine on there. Where it's been cut and gone dull, those cells are now open, so that part could start to absorb water, but inside there, the cells are closed. So yeah, it's not totally going to stop absorbing, if you look there, but it's not like the old style foams. And you can see, that is pretty tough. I'll try and hit it with a hammer now on the workbench to show you how tough it actually is. So as you can see, it's a pretty tough foam. It's quite hard. So yeah, it will help with impact resistance on the hull, but it's not technically structural, so don't use it as a structural foam because it's not designed for that. So that's it, I'm going to pack up for today. This video might be very short, more of a test for this microphone, just to see if I can sync the audio and see how it sounds. Fingers crossed I can, and if not, it'll have to just be the GoPro sound, unfortunately. We are very close to getting this deck in. I've got to do an order of fiberglass resin, buckets, brushes, stuff like that, and rollers, so I can actually put the deck down and fiberglass it down. I'm going to order a 2.2 kilo kit of this foam, just so I can carry on filling those 2 bow sections. And that's pretty much everything done. We can get the deck in and paint the boat and start doing the wiring. I actually can't wait, I'm really excited. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this short video, and I'll see you in the next one in 2026.